welcome to Tasha Personified. I know usually I'm saying welcome back to Latasha Hewitt Homes, but some of you perceptive viewers have noticed that I changed the name of the channel. That's right, it's now Tasha Personified. Initially when I started the channel, it was going to be more geared towards real estate and things at home, which it still will maintain the home effect, but more of the real estate content, as has been in the last few years, will be more non-existent as we're transitioning in that regard. But now we're just going to focus on me living life. So many things have changed over the last few years as it relates to me, and I kind of really just want the channel to be about whatever I want it to be about. More lifestyle, kind of doing things in the house with me, whether it's traveling with my family or anything that I feel is worthy of documenting. So thank you for joining me on the journey. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to Tasha Personified, and let's find out who I really am as I live this life that I've been given, right? Yes, so we're getting back to doing a little home decor. I have not done one of these videos in a while, and I'm really excited because fall has become probably my second most favorite season to decorate for. We all know that Christmas is always going to be number one. And so I'm excited about decorating for fall. We're going to keep it simple. This time we are not buying anything new. We're simply using everything that we already have. However, I was gifted a few fall pieces that I definitely want to incorporate into the space. I'm kind of excited to see because some of them include wall decor, which I've never really done much with wall decor, more accents around the place. So we'll see how we work that out. So thanks for tuning in. If you want to see how we decorate for fall, stay tuned. All right, guys, happy fall, y'all. It's time to decorate for fall. And this is one of two pieces of wall decor that I received from my mom. And it says, "In all the lives we ever lived, and all the lives to be are full of trees and changing leaves." So I have two of these. And I was thinking about where could I possibly put them? And it seemed to me that the best place would be the sunroom. One, because I think it's kind of cool with the open windows and the space there to kind of have the actual fall leaves. And then these leaves that are on here, it kind of creates a whole nice, atmosphere for fall. So we're gonna do that. Plus I think I have two perfect spots. One of the things I hate to do when decorating is like put new holes in the wall. I try to use what's already there. So there are already two holders in the sunroom that we're gonna put these up on. I think we're gonna start with that and then we'll transition because I also have some new pillows. So these, I'll probably take the tags off, of course, but these are some turkey pillows. For the vegetarian here, yeah. But these are some turkey fall pillows that were also gifted to me. So we'll use those on the chair, and not the chair, but the sofa in the sunroom. And then there's also a pumpkin one that we'll put in the chair as well. I'm into pumpkins. I don't know what it is about fall and pumpkins, but I'm going to also incorporate this into the couch in there as well. And then of course we have everything else that we've already had for fall, and we'll just start pulling things out and putting them in place. All right, guys, let's get to decorating. Okay guys, so as you saw, as I was trying to hang these up, the width of it is a little wider than those things that were hanging up there previously. So I'm going to use a thumb tack for the other side because I don't want to nail another hole in the wall, so at least it'll be subtle. They're not that heavy, so I think it will hold up. So that's going to be what we do to make this work. Okay guys, so it's not exactly the shade I want, but I refuse to put more holes in there. So we're gonna make it work. So next I'm going to take off the existing pillows. These are pretty much what we have in here year round. So now it's time to fallify. And the great thing about using the sunroom is it kind of is already fall-esque with the brown couch. So everything that goes along with it is very complementary to the color scheme of fall. So this is why this is always the perfect room to decorate. So let's grab our pillows. All right, we have our two turkeys, our two Jive turkeys. I did wash them this morning. So I'm taking these tags off. Once again, this is what they look like. Turkey time. For those who watch the channel, you'll know I had some other pillows that I typically put over there. So we'll see. I don't like having too much stuff. 3 pillows, maybe 4 is tops for me for in here. I'm going to naturally go from one end, the other one, and then we have our big pumpkin. The only thing is the pumpkin is a brownish color as well, but it's still a slightly different brown. I tend to like things to pop, but I love this pumpkin. So we're gonna see how it fits right there in the middle. Don't know how I feel about that, guys. I almost feel like it shouldn't be in the middle. So who knows? Maybe we will incorporate some more of our pillows. Let me grab the bin. Okay, so here's our fall bin. Let's bring it down so you can see. Here are all the things fall that we have. Be Grateful, which is more Thanksgiving centered, which we usually put in the dining room. More Give Thanks also. Hello Fall, typically, I think last year we used it in the dining room, maybe possibly the kitchen this year, either one. But we're looking for pillows. Okay, so these are our Hello Fall pillows, which I actually think can work. So we'll be able to utilize all the pillows. Here's a little acorn. This can be our center, right? And we have another, sorry, we have 2 acorns. We have 2 of everything. So we can have one, we can mix it up. Hey, we have another Hello Fall. So let's figure out what kind of configuration works. Hello Fall. Cut the tag off of this one. I feel like tags ruin the vibes. Ruin the vibes. Okay. Oops. So Hello Fall. What do we think? Let me bring you guys closer. Pillow arranging is not necessarily my forte, but I definitely think based on the size of the pillows, it could work to have all 3 of them there. I feel like the nice acorn does add that pop of orange. And then we kind of have our pumpkin chilling out over here in the corner. So this is what we have so far. All right, looks good. And we also have this pumpkin that we bring out every year in the sunroom. So we'll see how we utilize that. But for now, we just pull it out to showcase it. It is a planter. But yeah, I'm not mad at what we have so far. It's definitely screaming fall with the leaves and hello fall. So I think what's left in here may just be a few accents on our table over here. And even this plant, this is a tropical coffee Arabica. And it's pretty much dead, but it's gonna kind of give like fall leaves feel, right? So I haven't thrown it out because even though it's dead, it still has promise of life in my mind. So we got that there. Let's see. I feel like the pumpkin will be good. All right, guys, so honestly, I have no idea of where I want to start next. So I'm just going to start kind of pulling out things and deciding where they will go in the house. This is goldish. I thought I pulled all these tags off. So I think this will definitely go in our den area where the colors are blue, gold, silver. So this is also blue, which we have a couple of options where this can go, but this is definitely the den. So I'm gonna put that aside. We have this orange pumpkin. I really like it a lot. I think last year I may have used it as the centerpiece here in the kitchen dining. So that's an option, or I used it in an entryway. So definitely gonna find the perfect spot for that. These acorns, I think we also scattered in the entryway. We'll see about that. Oh, I think this we use as a wreath in the dining room, which we may do again. We'll see about that. And I'm okay, guys. I'm okay this year if I don't use everything. Like, that's not the goal. The goal is to just have a taste of fall everywhere, kind of tastefully done. So I'm not so pressed on making sure every piece in this bin gets used. We do have these little pieces that I do like to kind of put random places in the house. We do know that with the kitchen this year, I'm really kind of minimalistic with it. So we're not going to put too much in the kitchen, and we're going to keep the color scheme of the gold and cream. But I do feel like something like this in the corner and the counter could work really well. So we'll put this aside for the kitchen, possibly. I definitely still have some other pumpkins. Gotta be careful. I have this orange pumpkin, which I definitely could possibly put here in the sunroom. So possibly do that there. And what else do we have? It's so funny how you forget from year to year. Yeah, leaves are falling, autumn is calling. That can really work well in here, just because we have our falling leaves, the signs that we just put up. So I think I want to incorporate these actually in here, or this in here, as well as falling leaves. So we can keep the theme of falling leaves here. And this is kind of a rolling pin. So it kind of fits in the kitchen. So we may put that in the kitchen, even though Papa Orange is allowed for fall. So put that in the kitchen. We'll put this here in the sunroom. And then we also have the cream pumpkin, which will go perfectly in the kitchen. So we're gonna put that in the kitchen side. This is so cute. I mean, it's like, so this can technically go in the dining area, or in the kitchen. I never use it to cook anything in, but it is something. Ooh, and I love candy corns. I know that that's like a hot take, but I love candy corns. I could possibly use this as a like candy dish for my candy corn. Anyway, we'll figure out which place to use this, but it's one of my favorite pieces for fall. And we have a lot of this fall foliage, which we typically just put in different vases that we have already in place. I like to have things that can easily be changed out. So we'll swap out the current flowers for some more fall type flowers. And that's in the dining room as well as in the den area. We'll do that. We have this blue and gray, which we typically will put in our living room, our formal living room. So I'll put that aside for there because we only do a few touches in those rooms. And more fall leaves. It's so beautiful. Don't you love the colors of fall, right? So while we're going through this, I think I can kind of chat with you guys about why I changed the name again. So for all my life, oh yeah, these are the ones I bought last year. Aren't they pretty? I had these in the kitchen. See? I need to definitely find a nice space to put these in. I like these a lot. All right, sorry. So, Tasha Personified, the name Tasha Personified was actually a magazine I had thought about years ago. No, see, I don't even know my own story. Actually, it was what I titled my journal when I was in college, Tasha Personified, because I was at that season of life discovering who I was. My first time away from home and away from my parents and everything that I had known for 18 years. And so I was discovering who am I outside of my family in this new space. And I used it to kind of just chronicle my thoughts on a path to self-discovery. And I really like that because, you know, as an English major, you think about personification. It's like giving inanimate objects characteristics of a person, so you're personifying it. And so I said, but I kind of want to look at it as me taking who I am and defining that, so me personified. And so that's really what I wanted to do with this channel, because I'm going through a different phase of life right now. I have 2 daughters who are teenagers, but they're both in a boarding high school. And so it's kind of like an empty nester. It's kind of because technically they're not really gone out of the house, but they're not here for the majority of the time. And so now, having been a wife for almost 20 years this year and a mom for almost 17 years, it's like, who am I? Who is Tasha without, if you strip away a wife, if you strip away a mother? Not that I want to strip away any of those roles, but sometimes you can kind of get lost in them and you don't know who you are and what you enjoy. So I kind of wanted my channel to be more of that, so that I can kind of take you along with what I'm processing, the things that I want to do, how I'm creating space for myself and getting to know who I am with the things that I do. So you'll see more of that type of content moving forward. So I hope it's of interest to you. But we'll still do a lot of this because I like doing this. This is part of who I am, and I'm realizing that. So anyway, so we have other little trinkets and things like that. This is another one of my faves because it's like the velvet pumpkin. It elevates this whole pumpkin. So this will be nice in the kitchen because, okay, I keep saying that I want to keep it minimalistic in the kitchen, and everything I can think of, I'm like, ooh, this would fit the kitchen. So we'll see. We'll put it in the kitchen pile for now, but it may go somewhere else. All right, and then we just have an array of leaves and other things that I think we typically put on the table in the dining room. We have this as well. So I have to leave some stuff for the entryway. So we have a lot of these like metallic pumpkins. I like them. I got these from the Dollar Tree several years ago. This is a silver one that we definitely want to put in. Yeah, we'll put these in the living room. These silver ones, they go well with this blue and gray or silver pumpkin. We definitely want to be able to put something there in that area. And then we also have our dining room. I have some other things to decorate the dining room in the cabinet over there, curio cabinet, that we'll pull out. We have kind of the table runner. We have some placemats, so we'll do that. But for now, let's go ahead and finish up adding the touches in here in the sunroom so we can kind of be done with that. And then we'll move to some of the other spaces. All right, guys, now we are in the den. Time to add a touch of fall. Don't typically do much in here. I'm definitely going to change out the flowers in the vase, as I mentioned. Probably going to put this pumpkin, because it's gold and it matches the existing color scheme, somewhere on top of the mantle. And then that might be it this time. I think the gold already kind of is a nod to fall in here. So it's not really, necessary to do too much, but we'll see. But for now, we're just gonna go ahead and do these foundational things. All right, let's start with the flowers. So I have them here. So I like to kind of create what I want it to look like before. I think we're gonna stick with, some that have the pumpkins and kind of create, I think we have some other stuff in here. Create something that incorporates more of this vibe. Have the pumpkin that will kind of correspond with the pumpkin that'll be on the ledge. I think that'll be really cute. We do have some sunflowers here, which we do already have a sunflower in here, so it'll tie into that. So what do we think about this vibe? Okay, that's not good. You gotta really act like you're arranging these things with some intentionality, right? So, okay. We have one on that side, so then we need one on this side. So, all right, let's swap it out. All right, guys, now we are in the formal living room. As you can see, it's blue and gray, silver. So typically we have our blue and gray pumpkin. And since I don't really like moving a lot of things around, or I typically just set the pumpkin right on top of this existing piece, kind of make it like a double layer. And then I usually put my acorn around here as well. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I see a little breakage happening here. I don't know what happened there. May need to have a little conversation with our cleaning person, but yeah, we don't come in here enough to break anything. All right, so we're gonna place these here. Pine cone and our acorn there. And our pumpkin rest right here. This kind of stays all year round, so I don't really mess with that. So that will fall in here. Alright guys, we are now in our formal dining room. I figured it's best to kind of get this situated, decide how we want it in here, and then anything else can be kind of scattered around the rest of the house. So as I shared with you, I do have some fall things that are kept in here that we're going to bring out. This is for the kitchen. Always thankful, always grateful, always blessed. So that'll go in the kitchen, a little pop of orange. But what we're looking for, which I see back here, oh, Christmas. This is more Christmas, so fall must be in the corner here. Yeah, here we go. Our placemats, we have the leaves. These are for decorative purposes only. So we have the 4 orange kind of rest kind of leaves that we will place. We also have these leaves because the kitchen is very much in the color scheme of cream and gold, and I kind of want to keep it that way. With the updates we've made, I'm definitely going to be using these in the little dinette in the kitchen, even though I think I have 8 of them for this dining area. But let's just go ahead and let you know 4 of these will be going to that area in the kitchen. And so what we'll do is mix, I think we've done this before, we'll mix this goldish champagne color with this in here in the dining room, so it'll be all good. We also have a fall runner. Oh, we have placemats. Not typically, but sometimes I use these in that dining area. But like I said, because of the new kind of color scheme we're going for in there, I'll use these for decorative. And I don't know. We'll figure out something with these. We don't have to use like I said, we don't have to use everything every year. So I'm okay with that. Just going to make sure I have all of them out. We have our runner. Oh, runner, where are you? Let's see. Christmas. Oh, here it is. Right in my face, ladies and gentlemen. I love this. I got this several years ago when we first moved in here. And to me, it's kind of classic. I have not been inspired to update it. It still goes with everything in here. It's very complimentary. So we're gonna keep rocking with it. I did buy it with like a cream tablecloth, but I really just like to see the natural wood, and I don't like to cover my tables, especially if I'm not eating at it at the moment. So we're just going to use the runner. Okay, now that I've gone through all that, let's get started. Guys, we're still here in the dining room, and this is a wall that was arranged differently last year. And so this gives an opportunity to do something a little different with the fall decor. So as you guys know, I have these metallic fall decor, the pumpkin, and I also have the acorn and another pumpkin. And so I was like, oh, how about we just kind of added a little pumpkin up here to each of these 3 circles. I think that will accomplish what we want to pretty easily. I just want to make sure it's not too much because we do like the simplistic vibe. So we will put this little pumpkin here beside this plant. We will put this one kind of here, or we do it like there. How are we looking? How are we looking? Kind of have that in the back. Let the pumpkin shine. And then we have this, although, ooh, I may want to borrow this for my fall flowers. I forgot. I did really buy this with the intent of using it as a vase. So you may have to borrow this. And so this will be an acorn over here. How about we swap this just because like those colors were too similar. Or better yet, of course, that makes me want to move the greenery down here to match that greenery. And then to put the pumpkin up here. Okay, so I don't really like that. It's not giving, as they say. So better. Hope it doesn't look too crowded. We'll see. We'll see. We're gonna work with this for now and make any adjustments. And I can't wait to see if this works for our fall flowers. If not, it'll be back in the space and we'll rearrange some things. Also, typically, as I said before, we hang this be grateful sign. Sometimes we hung it between the windows over there. Sometimes we hang it over here on this wall. I'm not sure what I want to do this time. And then this one, which I got really marked down for like $2.49 at Ross. The hooks came off to be able to hang it. So I really just use this to lean against our little buffet over here. So let's go ahead and transition over there. So typically I will lean this here, which I think we'll continue to do. Last year I did add some pumpkins to this to kind of give it a pumpkin feel. I don't really know that I want to do that this year, but I will add some other pop of color right there. Now I was sharing with you that we typically hang the other sign right here. Right here. But I'm not sure. We also have this area over here. See where it says happily ever after? Sometimes I swap things out over there. So let's see if we like that. Okay, I don't want to do this because I don't want to mess up what we have hanging up over here. So we're going to keep it as is. Happily Ever Home will stay. And if we do want to use this, be grateful. We're going to see if over here can work. Straighten it out a little bit. Now, with this one being gone, I just don't think that looks good there. So we'll just have that kind of hanging by itself. Be grateful. Yeah, it's a better use of it. The other option would be to put it over here. Let's go over here and see if we put it on the other side of where the other one is. One says give thanks. One says be grateful. What do you guys think? Is that too much over here? I know our plant is like always giving. You can turn it out. This is like, to me, one big leaf. So even though it's there year round, I kind of leave it for fall because it kind of goes. So what do we think about just putting them both here? Let me know which one you prefer, over there on the wall or over here. Let me know in the comments what you think. But for now, because we like to try different things year after year, we're gonna try this. We've never done the two of them beside each other, so why not this year, okay? And I'm actually gonna put those stars back, but let me know what you think. Do you agree with me or think I should mix it up? All right, guys, so we have moved to the kitchen area. And as I said, we kind of are keeping things very minimalistic in here. Right now, I have these two that I think I would actually relocate just so that I can have my fall centerpiece. They're actually gonna go back to where they were before, which was kind of flanking the window over the sink. And we really want our fall flowers to be the star and this on the island. And so I got these from Aldi last year. I just like that. I see these colors together and I just say, this is fall. I just love it. I love it. I love it. So I wanted, last year I had a vase and I really didn't like it. So I wanted something that's a little bit more decorative. I think it was just like a plain glass vase. So when I saw this that I had gotten for the dining room, I was like, wait, maybe this can work. Now it is a little curved, but I think this could kind of still give me that minimalist feel with my pop of color with the fall. So we're gonna position this here. Let's bring you over to see. We need your opinion on this. All right, so this is what it's looking like, guys. So this is it. Right here in the center. So just enough to say fall, and a cream vase to kind of keep our color scheme. I think it can work. I definitely like it a lot better than the glass vase I had last year. And I'll try to put a link to my previous fall decorating so you can see it kind of there in the corner. But yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. So let's go ahead and grab the other pieces for the kitchen so we can finish this up. Okay, so as you guys know, if you've been following the channel, one of the things we did when we but added the backsplash is that I tried to remove as many things off the counter as possible. Just because I just wanted that clean look. I wanted the backsplash to be able to shine. And I'm loving it. We've been able to maintain that. The only thing I kind of acquiesce to is having our air fryer up here, just because it matches, okay? So I was thinking about actually incorporating it into some of the decor. So we have like this roll-in pin that says falling leaves that I thought maybe we could just rest right there on top of the air fryer. We also have this thankful and blessed. I was thinking about putting it on another one of our walls that has nothing, because like I said, all of our walls are pretty bare. Counters are pretty bare. I do have this cream pumpkin that I wanted to incorporate, but I think I'm okay with saving this for somewhere else. But let's play around with this. First of all, let's try this pumpkin over here at the wall across from. All right, guys, so this is the wall I was talking about over here. Thankful and blessed. I think it definitely is muted enough. We could kind of do it in the corner over here, or we can center it a little bit more right here. Maybe add a little candle business right here. What do you guys think? Can you see it? I want to get a little closer. So we just have thankful and blessed chilling right here. We could do a corner treatment with a little candle. We could even bring in our cream pumpkin that we weren't really sure what we wanted to do with, and create a vibe. I don't really want to cover the words because that's the star, at least for me. So we could do that, or we can make it central once again. Kind of have our here and our candle there. Which one do you like better? I'm gonna leave that for now because it works. And we're doing pretty good. So that's simple enough, more than is ever usually there. So you can tell fall is special. And then I'm gonna grab this cheese board. That's what they call it, cheese board, that says Hello Fall, to see if there's somewhere we can tuck this, maybe over here on this wall. Hello Fall. It's so funny. I've gotten so used to nothing being on the counter that even this little cheese board thing is giving me anxiety because I'm like, there's something on the counter. I don't know if I want that. But we also have this smaller one that can kind of be complementary to it. Hello Fall. We're thankful. So maybe we can do that. This is still very little on the countertops. Guys, I feel like I'm allergic to clutter now because I'm already nervous even about just this. I was also thinking about, for our nice velvety pumpkin, we could possibly put it in the windowsill. Now, hopefully the lighting will still be able to see this. Maybe I can move my little sage plant and have our little gold pumpkin right there. I like that. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, that looks good there. And these would not be here if they did not move from the center, but I don't want to like put them too far. So they're back over there. Okay, we're doing pretty good. We don't typically have much hanging from our stove, but we will now because it's fall, y'all. So we will hang this on our oven door. Because nothing says fall like being thankful, grateful, and blessed. So that will hang there. And just like that, guys, we put our touch in the kitchen, but now we need to move over to our little dinette set. All right, guys, now it's time to move over to our kitchenette area. Typically we have just a simple green plant here, but of course we have some pumpkins that can take its place. So we're gonna move this out of the way. As I mentioned earlier, we have our leaves placemats that we're going to put at each chair. I have to remind, I guess really just my husband now, that this is not decorative purposes only, so they'll still have to use something there. I now want to figure out the middle here. This star pumpkin that I have, and I call it star because it's just so sparkly. I just love it. Would go well here because the sparkles kind of match the leaves, and it does add a little color to tie in our leaves centerpiece here on the kitchen island. So I'm not mad at that. It's simple. We have leaves, we have a pumpkin. It's fall, y'all. Okay. The only other thing that I do want to incorporate somewhere between the kitchen and our dining room is one of my other favorite little casserole dishes. So we may go ahead and put this on our little cabinet in there because you gotta have it. And I have enough in the kitchen. I'm doing way more than I probably feel comfortable with in the kitchen already, and it's not even a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on in there. And then we can decorate. The last thing we have to decorate is kind of what I consider our accent table in the entryway. So we'll do that, and then we'll kind of look at what we have and do a final review. All right, let's do it. All right, guys, so now we're at our entry table. Here's what we have here now, pretty simple. I want to see if I can just move this under here. Let's see. Oh no, I thought. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna have to move this. But I wanted to see if I could just put some smaller things here, and I'll bring them closer, of course. Here in the entryway. It looks a little bare to me and underwhelming. But we do have something else that I could possibly try. Hold right there. So this, I think last year, this is what I had on our mantle, which was a little, covered it a little bit more. But I just put kind of this string of leaves, one of these over there, which I could also add to. But what if we add a little drama right here in the entryway? Ooh, what if we use this over here? Is that even doable? Ah, coming up with some ideas, Joel. What if we, but then I don't want to put too much weight on that. Then, Houston, we could have a problem. I want to try. Uh-oh, guys. It's almost like a frame. Let's see when that works. I can definitely try to hide it behind the mirror. I feel like it creates a little drama. Alright, I'm scared though. What do you guys think? This is looking crazy. You can tell me. I just like to try new things. And that's so unexpected. This is looking out of place to me. So we'll probably put this somewhere else. But if we just added these little leaves here to the existing candlesticks and our black and white, which kind of picks up the black and white that's here, I feel like that would be enough, right? Does it just look like I draped that thing over there? Tell me the truth. Because I sure did. You saw me do it. But I feel like if I worked on it a little bit more, we can make it work, right? So we will. We'll do that. But I'm happy with that. I think we'll keep this close. It doesn't fit underneath, which is what I was hoping. We could just stick it under there. All right, guys. So I didn't forget, but one last place that I definitely wanted to add a touch of fall is our powder room here on the main level. And so I was like, oh, what do I have left? So I thought it would be cute to incorporate some of our little acorns. There is a cabinet over here, which I do kind of try to decorate seasonally, that I could definitely utilize. Oops. So I was thinking we could put some acorns up here. There are 4 of them. These are things that in previous years I have used. I forgot this cabinet is still like painted shut from when I tried to fix it. So we just stick it in there. These are just some votive holders, which we can move down there. And we'll put this one here as well. I don't know about that because you can't really see the second row, right? The top row is no problem. I think in Times Square too, I sprinkled a few leaves on here. Just to say, fall is here. So, I don't know why I never put little candles in here. I definitely have some. So, we'll try to do that. And this sign is funny. I just not found it, but it was downstairs. And I was like, this needs to go somewhere. It says to you, worry ends where faith begins. So, I thought that would be a nice reminder to put a place where people frequent. So, yeah, here it is in the back. So these are some other little pumpkins. So I just kind of want to scatter a little bit of fall in here. I think that's cute. We do have this as well. How are we looking? Should I put some leaves in here? I just feel like it needs more in there. I just don't know what more. I don't know if the acorns look like they were kind of just thrown in there. I may just kind of sprinkle the acorn. Maybe in the windowsill over here, or over here on this little table. Kind of in the corner. You'll see what I'm doing. I don't know. Let me put these back. I mean, they're peach, but they kind of have an orangey feel. So, yeah. I'm gonna put those back where they were. Maybe put some acorns back there. Acorn back there. Yeah. Just a little touch of fall in there. And I do have a couple more pumpkins that we'll sprinkle over here on a little table. There we go. Oops. Sorry, y'all. Let's do a better job. Here's the table right here. This, which blessed, let's put it back in where it was. You can still have meaning there, blessed. By all means, you're blessed. So here is where I wanted to add a little bit more. Okay, I got a little pumpkin there. We got another one, maybe a couple more. You can just have our little pumpkins kind of scattered around the paper towel roll, which goes along with the ones that are in their little cabinet. Yeah, that's cute, right? Simple and cute. That's what we're going for. All right, everybody, so this is the fall that we have in our little powder room here. We have the pumpkins and the acorns there. We have the acorns here in either corner of the window. And then we have a little pumpkin patch right here. All right, that's what we have for our powder room.